man, the brands are really ramping up for holiday season. We've got a bunch of fresh new leaks and rumors, as well as some crazy new release calendars for both Yeezy and Jordan. So of course, we're going to be getting into all of it like we do every single week. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and chuck me a follow over on Instagram, and that way I can keep you guys in the loop with all of the sneaker release dates. Alright, we're going to keep it super quick for the release recap because like I said, we've got a ton of stuff to get into. So let's start off with this one right here, one of the more random restocks that happened, the Yeezy 350 V2 Flax. These actually restocked as a US only, and then here in the EU and the UK, we got the Bone 350s, again, super random. I mean, I literally just got the Bone, so I'm all good on this one, and I just passed up. Now, one for you guys out in the US, which is pretty big, the Jordan 4 Black Canvas. These were supposed to drop on the 1st, that was yesterday, but they randomly got postponed to the 5th of October. This is less of a release recap and more of just a, if you didn't know, now you know. If you wanted to go for these things, they are going to be dropping on October the 5th. And then finally, before we get into the upcoming stuff, the Nike Dunk Low SB Dodgers. These dropped for you guys out in the US as well. That was yesterday. Let me know if you managed to get a pair. I did a review. I love them, and I think it's a solid cop if you did. We're going to hit the ground running today. I've got the entire Yeezy calendar for the month of October that we're going to be getting into, as well as some future stuff, which I think is pretty cool. We'll talk about in a second. The month of October kicks off with this sneaker right here, the Yeezy MNVN Laceless in the analog colorway. I think this one is one of my favorites that are going to be dropping. It's a solid colorway. I understand the MNVN is not everybody's favorite. These are going to be dropping on October the 6th. Now, for you guys out in the US, you're finally getting the Bone restock. I feel like you guys just had a Yeezy Slide Bone drop. These are going to be dropping on the 7th of October. So if you need a fresh pair of Bone slides, again, just be prepared. Now, one that I'm pretty interested in as well is right around the corner, the Yeezy 700 V3 Fade Salt. I think that gray sock liner does look pretty cool. It's very similar to the samples that we saw Kanye wearing. Either way, these are going to be coming on October the 8th. Now, a Yeezy drop that is super left field is this one right here. So this is the Yeezy Quantum High Res Coral. I have never seen leaks or anything of this one, but apparently it's going to be dropping on October the 10th. Now, one of the more, I guess, boring Yeezy releases, at least in my opinion, is going to be this pair right here. This is the Yeezy 450 Stone Flax. I just think it looks super similar to previous colorways that we've had. I mean, hey, listen, if you've got Cloud White, in my opinion, you don't really need these. But apparently, these are going to be dropping on October the 21st. Pair 350s is going to be dropping this month, and of course, that is this pair right here, the Jade Ash, or now known as the Salt Core Yeezy 350. These are going to be dropping on October the 22nd. I do think that these could look pretty clean on foot. I mean, it's a pretty minimal design. It's got the stripe back, which I think is pretty sick. One that I thought was going to be dropping in November, and I guess it still could potentially drop in November, but apparently, according to the leaks and rumors, it's dropping this month, is the Yeezy 500 Utility Black. These are going to be dropping on the 31st, so right at the end of October. And then last one, which is a little bit of a question mark, is the 500 High Taupe Black. These were delayed. I believe they were supposed to drop last month, but apparently they're supposed to drop this month. We don't have a specific release date. So as of right now, that is the October release calendar for Yeezy. Very, very stacked. A lot of releases in there. I'd like to know from you guys, what is your favorite? Let's talk about some of the other Yeezys that are going to be dropping this year. This is the Dark Beluga, or which they're now calling the Carbon Beluga. These are going to be dropping in December. So yes, another take. I think this is what, the 3rd or 4th iteration of the Beluga colorway. What do we have? Original Belugas, Beluga 2.0, Beluga Reflective, and now Dark Beluga. Either way, take a look at these on-foot images and let me know your thoughts. But we also have another Yeezy December release. This is the Dark Salt colorway. I can't remember what these were called before, but now they are officially known as the Dark Salt. These are going to be dropping in December. We're not going to spend too much time because we recently took a look at these images, but here's another quick look. If you haven't seen these things on foot, again, another fantastic colorway of the 350. So moving on from Yeezy brand, I wanted to tell you guys about the upcoming collaboration of the New Balance 650 and of course Aim Leon Dore. This is actually happening right around the corner. So take a look at this here. We've got this like racing green or forest green colorway. We've got the gray, and then we've got the navy colorway. So we've also got some in-hand images of what they actually look like, which I guess they look a lot more sale than the other images that we were looking at. Now, the release date is something I did want to mention because it is right around the corner, apparently October the 3rd. So what will happen is Aim Leon Dore will hold a raffle. You enter that raffle and then they just tell you whether you won or not. We've got another undercover collaboration with Nike, this time on the Air Force One, and you can really see the undercover vibes with this collaboration. So take a look at this here. We've got an all over black and white midsole pair, and you could just really see like the technical aspect that undercover usually brings to their collaboration. You can really tell that they're not trying to change that much about the Air Force One silhouette in general. They just added the weird sock piece and the plastic back. We just know that they are going to be dropping here in 2022, and these look like official images, so I would imagine within the next couple months. Another New Balance drop, which is right around the corner, is this one right here. This is the Invincible N Hollywood New Balance 1906R. This is the Gray Swan colorway. These are also going to be dropping on October the 5th. I think these look very solid. Probably one of my favorite or the coolest looking 1906R pairs that I've seen recently, apart from the protection pack. Let's keep it moving because we also have an entire holiday season release calendar for Jordan Brand. So let me tell you guys what's going to be going down. First one is the Air Jordan 12 Black Taxi. So just all over black with the taxi or yellow accents. These are going to be dropping on December the 3rd. Then we've got the Air Jordan 11 Women's Exclusive, the Midnight Navy colorway. These are going to be dropping on November the 25th. Jordan 11 Cherries, or the Jordan 11 Memphis Cherries. These are the ones that notoriously got stolen from the Memphis Nike distribution center, and then all sales were halted by StockX. Either way, these are going to have an official release on December the 10th. Air Jordan 9 Fire Red. These are predominantly gray and white, but do have some red accents. These are going to be dropping on November the 5th. Cardinal 7s looking, I guess they're looking pretty decent. Not really my favorite sneaker out of this lineup, but if you did like these, they are going to be dropping on December the 17th. We've got the Chrome 6s. These, again, I think this is another pair that was stolen from the Memphis Nike distribution center. Either way, again, another official release of these should be on November the 12th. And then, of course, the Midnight Navy Jordan 4, another Memphis special. This is going to be dropping on October the 29th. The Air Jordan 3 Women's Black and Gold. Not really my thing. I'm okay. October the 6th, if you do want these things, I think they're loaded up on Nike Sneakers app. One of the bigger releases is going to be the Air Jordan 2 OG Chicago. I do think that if you're a fan of Jordan 2s, you're gonna love this one because Jordan Brand, at least from what they were saying, have gone all out to make this as close to the OG as possible. That is a December the 30th drop. Got the Air Jordan 1 Gorge Green dropping on November the 26th. These I actually do quite like. It's pretty much like the Bordeaux's, but just green. As you can see, it's got the metallic swoosh and then the plastic wings logo, which again, people will not like. And judging on previous Jordan 1 drops, you should be able to get these things for retail. We've got the Air Jordan 1 High OG Women's Exclusive Twist 2.0. So this is a pretty much black and gray. You could kind of loosely say Panda Jordan 1, but it is covered in pony hair. He's going to be dropping on December the 22nd. And that, of course, is the Jordan 1 High Chicago Lost and Found. Yes, these are dropping on November the 19th. I am caught up in the hype, and the more I see of this sneaker, the more I want it. I know everybody's going to be going for it, and I'm probably not going to be able to get these things for retail, but man, I definitely want a pair. And that is it. Those are all of the Jordans that are coming up within the next couple months leading up to holiday season. I guess we're kind of in it at this point. It is October. There's only a few months left of the year. Let me know what your favorite picks are out of that Jordan lineup. Either way, keeping it moving, we've got one of the bigger leaks and rumors, which is pretty insane if this does end up happening. So you guys know that we've got the concept orange lobster dunk that's supposed to be dropping this year. Apparently we're going to be getting a white lobster as well. This is a concept image based off of this image right here, which is a leak of what potentially could be an upcoming white lobster concepts collaboration. Now apparently these are going to be dropping next year, but unfortunately, at least according to House of Heat, this is going to be a friends and family exclusive, which means they're going to be incredibly limited and hardly anybody is going to be getting them. We do have another leak on a different pair of dunks, which potentially could even be bigger than this one. Eminem is back collaborating with Nike, and they're going to do and Eminem, Carhartt, Nike SB Dunk Low in 2023. So yes guys, that means this is going to be a very similar collaboration to what we saw on the Jordan 4s, the ultra rare pair. We don't even know what it could look like, but the rumors have started, and I'm sure if this does end up happening, this is going to be massive. So if this rumor ends up progressing forwards, we should start seeing like early images of this within the next few months, maybe before the end of the year. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this story. I think that's pretty wild. I, for one, would definitely like to see a collaboration like this, but yeah, let's keep it moving. Sticking with dunks, although this one's a little bit of a different take, I just thought it was pretty interesting where Nike is going with the dunk now. This is the next one. It's called the Nike Dunk High See-Through. So essentially, this is like really randomly cut material. This is a very bizarre take on a Nike dunk for sure. If you are a fan of these, apparently these should be dropping this year. Kanye is not going to be happy about this next story at all, because I kind of was under the assumption that Adidas just stopped, but they didn't. The Adidas Adifoam Q has got 4 more colorways. These were supposed to drop here in the EU and the UK on, I believe, the 14th of last month in September. And there was actually a raffle on the Adidas app and you could enter it. And then they mysteriously disappeared. You could no longer find it, and it's like they just canceled the drop. Like they didn't announce anything, the drop just disappeared. To my knowledge, I don't think there's been any Adifoam Q drop here in the UK and the EU. I just kind of assumed that Adidas saw what Kanye was saying and they just pulled back a little bit, but apparently we're going to be getting 4 more colorways. We've got an all over black colorway. We've got this black and white colorway, which I think looks all right. Definitely better than the first one, I think. This all over bone white colorway, which I think has a grayish inner sock piece. And then we've also got this one here, which I guess kind of looks a little bit greenish with a gray inner sock piece. So apparently all 4 of these colorways are going to be dropping this year. No specific release date. Jeez, if they go forward with this and they start dropping all of them, I'm just imagining Kanye going off again. We've got a couple more Yeezy leaks, which I wanted to show you guys. The first one is significantly more boring than the next one. Take a look at this here. I am almost fed up right now of Yeezy 450 colorways. It looks identical to the Cinders. Is this the Cinder? Apparently it's the upcoming Stone Teal colorway. So here's an image of it next to the Utility Black and the Slate Black, I think they were called. This is it, and I guess it does have a little bit of a teal color, but what they don't put it with, which I don't know why, is why don't they put these things next to the Cinder colorway? That was the all over gray version. I think it looks incredibly similar to the Stone Teal colorway. I literally have the Cinders, and I feel like if you have the Cinders, you don't need this one. These are going to be coming very soon. Apparently they are supposed to drop in November. Now the next Yeezy story, which I think is significantly more interesting, is this one right here. Another crazy MX version of the foam runner is going to be coming very, very soon. All over black, it's got like some gray and brownish mixtures in there, and then the, I guess, toe box area is this vibrant blue color. This is a very clean pair. I think as far as like the MX version goes, this is probably one of my favorites, at least from these first looks that we have. I will keep you guys up to date on when these are going to be dropping, but as of right now, it just looks like towards the end of the year, so potentially November, December time. So here's a little story which may make you feel a little bit better. I know that we had the Travis Scott reverse mochas earlier this year, and that sneaker release, most of us got L's, right? Most of us got handed L's, but something that you need to know is it might not be just because the Nike sneakers app hates you, because apparently Travis Scott actually set a new record with that release. It was actually for how many entries was made for this pair of sneakers. So this officially has the most entries, the most Nike sneakers entries of any pair of shoes at 3.8 million. So just understand that when you went for this pair of sneakers, 3.8 million other people were also waiting in line at the same time. Now, I'm not sure why this was a bigger release than the fragment drops. Like, from what I understand, people really liked the fragments, and that was kind of like a more hyped up release. I'm not entirely sure, but apparently This one was out there. This was out there setting records. And then just think about that when it comes to the upcoming one this December that's going to be dropping, the Phantom Black colorway. It's probably going to be similar. I'd imagine more people prefer this reverse mocha colorway. It's something just cool to keep in mind. Like, it's not just because you're super unlucky, it's because you're literally entering the lottery at this point. You going up against 3.8 million people, your odds of getting this pair were very low. Either way, I just thought that was super interesting. Let's get into today's final story, which again is another interesting one. Designer accuses Adidas of stealing his work. So this is particularly interesting because he's not the first designer that has accused Adidas of stealing his work. I mean, as we know, Kanye very publicly has been talking about that recently. This piled on top really doesn't put Adidas in a very good light. This is a designer that actually collaborated with Adidas on creating a special version of their sneaker, and then at the top here is what Adidas just released as their own product. Yeah, this designer is saying that Adidas stole their designs, and with Kanye also calling them out, I'm sure it's not a good look for them, but yeah, you guys let me know what you think of this. That pretty much wraps it up. A lot of upcoming releases. Thank you for coming through, hanging out with me for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.